Does anybody know why reverser roller coasters exist in Rollercoaster Tycoon? The only one people are sure existed was in Utah in the 1920s. If that is true, then huge credit to Chris Sawyer for researching that and bringing it to life. So, are they a good coaster to build in Rollercoaster Tycoon? Well, in a lot of ways they are basically a side friction coaster with a reverser section. There are some great examples of real life coasters where cars reverse, but none quite like this mechanism. It's a switch track which turns the train from forward to backward without stopping. How does it work? Well, the front wheels of the train enter the switch track while the back wheels continue on a straight path, thus overtaking the front and turning the car above them 180 degrees. So, here's the big question. How fast can we go through switcher track? Well, using the rides already in the game as a basis, Rovertour does it at 16 miles an hour, Timber Turnaround gets to 18 miles an hour, and in Goodnight Park, Night Shift hits the switcher at 25 miles an hour, which is 40 kilometers per hour. And actually, it seems reverser sections can handle any speed, which is strange for a coaster which can't summit a slope any quicker than 30 miles an hour. But it's true. In Ride Designer, I built a drop as tall as possible, 82 feet, and hitting the switcher at 50 miles an hour proved no issue. So then I used the hills on Goodnight Park to create a 147-foot drop. This time the train's got just over 60 miles an hour and the coaster still switches. You even get flat lines for lateral and vertical Gs too. So basically, don't worry about speed when it comes to reverser sections. Although if your train doesn't make it up a hill and reverses back into a reverser section, well, then it will crash no matter how slowly you're going. Stat requirements on these are quite simple. A 300-foot track length and a minimum of 2 drops is all that is required to avoid stat penalties, presuming you actually use a reverser section. If you don't, you get penalised around 90% of your excitement rating. And just like a side friction coaster, if you reach a summit of a hill at 32 miles an hour, 51 in kilometres, or quicker, the train will come off the tracks and crash. There's one other potential issue to be aware of. These rides don't have block brakes, meaning if you prefer to operate your rides in this mode, you can't. So be careful of the speed rides return to the station at, as in the event of a brake failure, they may crash into cars parked at the station. This has been known to happen on the dueling reverser coasters at Goodnight Park. Cost-wise, they are exactly the same as a side friction coaster, with the addition of the reverser section, which costs 165 of your chosen currency if you build it at ground level. This makes them among the cheapest of the roller coasters. So you need one reverser section to avoid stat penalties, but it is possible to use just one and have the ride end in reverse, and therefore the next ride begin in reverse. After that first reverse section, each additional one will add 0.2 to each of your excitement and intensity ratings. I've already briefly mentioned the pre-existing rides in the game. Goodnight Park has the dueling Night Shift, while Timber Turnaround and Rovertour are available in the build menu. And that's reverser coasters in a nutshell. Side friction coasters with the addition of a pretty sturdy reverser section. And that rather impressive dueling coaster, Night Shift.